This is only a review. I'll be taking a look at the Edge card for the Nintendo DS and DS Lite. Basically what this is a flash card for your DS or DS Lite that allows you to run homebrew, Nintendo DS ROMs, music, movies, and pictures all on your Nintendo DS or DS Lite. This will not support DSi or DSi XL. The Edge company does, however, make another card just like this that will work on the Nintendo DSi and DSi XL, but unfortunately the card I have right here will only work on the original DS, the Fat DS, and the DS Lite. Basically, you just put this in your Nintendo DS just like a regular game, but on the back of the cartridge itself, you got a spot for a micro SD card. You will have to supply your own micro SD card. It does not come in the box, and you will have to put firmware on this to allow it to run on your DS. If you don't put firmware on it, it won't actually boot up, but you just drag and drop it straight to your card and you're good to go with your firmware. And like I said, this will support music, movies, and pictures, so you can basically turn your Nintendo DS or DS Lite into a multimedia device, which, as you know, the Nintendo DS or DS Lite is not a multimedia device, but this card will turn into one of those devices. So if you would like to use your Nintendo DS or DS Lite as like a multimedia device, like an iPod or a movie player, you could do it with this card. And one nice thing about the Edge card is it will allow you to use up to 32 gigabyte of space. So if you want to buy a micro SD card, 32 gigabyte, you can do that. Like some of the older cards, like the R4 and older ones, only support up to like 2 gigabyte or 4 gigabyte, but this one will go up to 32 gigabyte. So if you want to upgrade your card and put as many ROMs as you want on it, you can, and you're good to go, which is really nice. And I'll be demonstrating it in this video, which is nice. But just to be aware of, they do make fake cards out there which don't work correctly, and some of them I've noticed have actually will delete your game saves and screw up your game saves. So be a lookout that some of these cards are fake that they're selling and stuff. But this flash card for the Nintendo DS is pretty good and it works flawlessly. I've had no problems with it. I do recommend this card. It's maybe about $30 or $40, but it's well worth the money. Right here I have my Nintendo DS Lite, and I'll demonstrate how the card works. As you see, it just goes into the back of your Nintendo DS just like a regular game cartridge, and as I put it in, it is a very clean put in. It does go in very nicely and clean. It's not like kind of a tight fit. It is a very normal fit, just like a regular DS cartridge. I know some of the flash cards are a tight fit, but this one's a pretty good fit. I'll go ahead and boot it. Right when you boot the system on, I do gotta mention, right when you boot it on, it will automatically boot the card. So if you do want to go to the Nintendo DS main menu and some of the features on it, like Picto Chat or something, or DS download, you can't do that from this card. You gotta take out the card, because it'll always skip the main menu of the DS when you turn it on. So I'll go ahead and turn it on and show you how this Edge card works. It is kind of like a copycat of the Cyclone DS, if anyone knows what that is. It'll say booting automatically. See, it automatically skips the main menu of the Nintendo DS. On the top, you just got the Edge in 3D, and on the bottom is where you actually control the whole Edge card. Basically, so everything on this Edge card is controlled with the touchscreen. You don't have to use a touchscreen, but basically the bottom screen is where you actually control all the features of the Edge card. So I'll go ahead and show you what's on the Edge card. So on the bottom, you got homebrew and games. You got multimedia right there in the middle with the headphones, and then you got settings. The one on the left is where you put all your Nintendo DS ROMs and all your homebrew. In the middle is where you put all your movies, music, and picture. And then on the side, with the little cog thing, is where you put all the settings, basically. So if you would like to get the settings and stuff, you can go straight there. And then it does tell you what firmware you're running. I'm currently running version 2.3. And then it also does tell you the time of day, which is nice, I guess, because you can't go to the main menu. So it will tell you the time of day. You can either use your hand or you can use the actual physical buttons on this card, which is nice. Here's the list of my ROMs. I just clicked on the left, games and homebrew, and there's all my games and homebrew. It is a list, and you can just scroll down the list. It does scroll pretty fast, and you can change the layout of it if you want bigger icons. You can make them bigger icons. It does, however, take a little bit longer to scroll down the screen, but you can make them bigger icons. Then if you want to make them bigger icons with the size of the ROMs, you can do that. Basically, it'll show the ROM, but it'll also tell you what the size of it is. Unfortunately, on the Edge DS card, you can't actually delete ROMs, which is kind of a downside. But I guess it just shows you the amount of space it takes if you would like to know, I guess. Personally, I use the list because it looks better and it just scrolls faster, as you can see. You can use a touchscreen. I'll demonstrate it here, but it's not that good. It's kind of clunky. It does work, but it's a little bit clunky. I'll go ahead and boot a game to show you how it works. All these ROMs I do own. I'll go ahead and show you a ROM actually working. I'll boot up Mario Kart DS. You can enable cheat codes if you want to, but I'm not going to enable any for this run. So I'll just press no. This will support cheat codes if you want cheat codes, which is really nice. And you can update the file to get more cheat codes, like if newer games come out, which is really nice. Everything loads perfectly fine. It loads just like the game cartridge was in the DS. It loads pretty fast and clean. It doesn't lag or anything. I'll even go ahead and demonstrate Nintendo Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi features work. Even the multiplayer features work, which is really nice. Connection successful. See, it works just like the actual card was in there. I'll go ahead and demonstrate some gameplay to show you that it doesn't actually lag or anything. It is a very nice card. There is no completely slowdown on this card. It's a very nice card. And there's Mario Kart playing right there. Everything works perfectly fine. Power-ups and everything work fine. I'll go ahead and just pause the game. Now on this Edge card, what's nice about this Edge card, you don't always have to turn off the Nintendo DS every time you want to load a new game or you want to listen to music, movies, or pictures. Anything on the card you want to do, you don't have to turn off the DS. You can if you want to, but if you just want to go back to the main menu, you can. There's a soft reset on this, which is a very nice feature. You just press L and R and all the buttons on the right. I'll try to show you on camera. And then it goes back to the main menu of the Edge card, which is nice, or the games folder, which is really nice. And then when you I'll go back to Mario Kart DS. It says, do you want to load cheat codes? And I'll press yes, and I'll show you some cheat codes. They do work, and they're pretty cool. Like I said, you can update the file, which has a cheat code database in it. So if newer games come out, you can put in your own cheat codes and stuff, which is really nice. Here's some cheat codes. I don't know if you could see them that well on camera, but you got 3-star rating, 50cc, and all this stuff. Unlock all cards, always use certain weapon and stuff, which is nice. And then I'll go ahead and show you some of the settings of the Edge card for the Nintendo DS. So you got cheat codes. You can enable them or disable them, but if you leave them enabled anyway, when you go to load the game like I just showed you, it will tell you if you want to use them anyway. So it really doesn't matter if you leave that on or off. It'll always ask you before you start the game if you want to load any cheat codes or if you don't want to load any cheat codes anyway. Then you got your LCD brightness. You can go all the way up to 3 on this card. That feature only works on the Nintendo DS Lite. So if you buy this Edge card and you use it on the first generation or the Fat DS, it won't actually let you use the LCD brightness feature. But on the DS Lite, it will let you use it. It goes up to about 3. Then you got your languages, different languages. It does support about maybe 4 or 5 languages, which is really nice. I just keep it on English, of course. But I'll go ahead and show you the languages it got. Now back to English. You can change the skin of this card if you don't like the edge symbol at top, but I just keep it at edge because it's just a normal thing that came in the box or came with the firmware basically. And then on the bottom you got Rumble feature. You can use Rumble. It does require another card that fits in the slot 2 where the Game Boy Advance games go, but not many games actually use the Rumble feature. It's just basically like having an Xbox 360 or PS3 controller on your Nintendo DS. It makes the Nintendo DS vibrate like you're playing a game or like you're shooting somebody or something, but not many games support that, and it doesn't come in the box. You have to buy that Rumble Pack extra and stuff, but you wouldn't really want to use it, but you have it if you want to use it. Then you can boot from slot 2, which is really nice. So instead, you don't have to go back to the main menu of the Nintendo DS to load a Game Boy Advance game. You could actually load it straight from the Edge card, which is really nice. Then you can return back to main menu, or if you just press B, it'll go back to the main menu anyway. I'll go ahead and demonstrate how the Nintendo the Game Boy Advance game works on the Edge card. It does boot it pretty clean and nice. So I have installed a Ruby version for the Game Boy Advance. You can load it straight from the Edge card, which is nice. I'll go ahead and load it for you. When you load from slot 2, you can either boot a Nintendo DS game or a Game Boy Advance game, but for the most part, you'll be loading Game Boy Advance game from slot 2. I don't really know what the purpose is of booting an NDS game or Nintendo DS game on slot 2, but there must be a reason for it. I just don't know. But anyway, I'll go ahead and load the Game Boy Advance game. There, as you can see on camera, it is loading really nice. Just like the Nintendo DS games, it doesn't lag or anything. It's really clean. It just plays just like you're playing it off the regular system itself. See, it doesn't lag anything, perfectly fine. I'll go ahead and shut the system off. And I will tell you one more thing. This card also supports this card will also support the memory expansion pack, which is nice. So if you'd like to use the DS browser, you can use the Opera browser, however you pronounce it, on the Edge card. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. You just put it in the bottom, just like a regular DS game. I mean a Game Boy Advance game, excuse me, just like a regular Game Boy Advance game. Turn the system on, and then when you go to the Games and Apps folder, you'll see Nintendo DS browser, and it will boot it. So it will support packs, memory expansion pack, which is nice. Nintendo DS browser. I'll go ahead and hit no for cheat codes, but it will load it just like you're using the regular DS. It will support expansion packs, which is nice. Expansion pack does work, but you really wouldn't want to use the Nintendo DS browser in the first place. I mean, it's not that good of a browser in the first place, but if you want to use it, you can. And this card will support expansion packs, which is really nice. Anyway, I give this card a 9 out of 10. It is a very good card. Sure, it isn't the fastest flash card out there, but it loads pretty fast. Each game takes about 1 or 2 seconds to load, which is very fast. Most games have cheat codes, and you can add more cheat codes if you want to. It does support slot 2 rumble pack, expansion packs, and it will play Game Boy Advance games straight from the menu, which is nice. And I give this card a 9 out of 10, a very good card. I wish there were some more features it could do. Like, I know there's another flash card out there if you would like to get it. It will support Game Boy Advance ROMs out of the box, but this card needs another expansion pack to allow you to play Game Boy Advance ROMs. It will support like NES ROMs, Super Nintendo and stuff, but you just can't play Game Boy Advance games from slot 1 card. You do need another expansion pack to play Game Boy Advance games or Game Boy Advance ROMs. I was kind of disappointed about that, but overall, the Edge card for the Nintendo DS and DS Lite, I give it a 9 out of 10. If you would like to play it on the DSi or DSi XL, check into the other card, the iEdge. It'll work on all models except for 3DS. And I give this card a 9 out of 10, a very good score. Check it out if you would like to purchase a flash card. And peace out, guys. I'll see you later in my next review.